Well, hello, 7K World team. This is a very serious recording I'm going to do for you tonight because it's something I want you to use for decades and decades to come. You know, as I've grown my business, and I've always used a system, and that system is very, very important. And I see it's not being duplicated as much as it should be. And that's to your detriment. Because you know, if you have one system and everybody's duplicating the same system in the group, you can grow an organization like I did in 3.5 short years of over 70,000 people, because we all duplicated the same system. We all taught that same system over and over and over. Now, we started out real well in my group and everybody was doing it. But lately, this last, let's say 2 years, we have lots more leaders in my group and lots more success in my group. And I see one thing that's missing. I mean, everybody's catching on to the comp plan. I've got all the videos for that. I've got all the details for different things, and different leaders can learn that and then teach that themselves too. But what is missing is the heart of real duplication and getting commitment out of people. So I'm going to explain why, as I explain again my little quick system, and I'm going to show you the system. It's 7 pieces of paper, but the key to why is what's so important. So let's go directly to it while we talk about it, okay? And then I think everybody will understand it when we do it. It's, first of all, the commitment of 2 years. When you sign somebody in, the very first thing, that sponsor, that upline person that did the 3-way, or that's talking with that person, or that greets that person, they got to get that person to commit to learning for 2 years. Because no matter what you do in life, you've got to learn it. If I told you to go do an ASTME weld on that big tank over there and handed you an acetylene tank, a torch, and some welding rods, you'd do exactly. And it's the same in anything. If you want to be a doctor, you want to be an engineer, you want to be an architect, you want to be an electrician, you want to be a pipe fitter, you got to learn. And believe me, unless you've already been a 6-figure earner multiple years in a row in network marketing, you do not know how to do network marketing. Period. End. And that's a fact. Now, you may be immensely successful real quick, real fast, but you won't duplicate. You got to have a system. And a system's easy to learn. And if it's simple system, everybody can understand it and everybody can learn it. So what's that 2 years to learn the skills, attitudes, and techniques, and you must learn them. But they're very simple to learn, and it's the same thing you're learning over and over and over and over again until you become an expert at it. And then 3 to 5 years to build a large, huge residual income. And I tell you that if after this, let's say 7-year period, you only develop with this compound $500 a week for the rest of your life after 7 years, that I contend that that's much better than your 60-year plan, where you work 60 years of your life, you retire on Social Security, and you don't even get $2,000 a month. Well, that's pretty powerful. And get them to agree with that one fact alone. And to boot, you get to accumulate wealth. You get an autosaver. So you're committed 2 years to buy that autosaver without fail. So there's no going inactive, losing rank. 2 years. And if they're not committed to that, you know how much time to devote to them, and let them know that. If they're committed to that, they're a serious partner, even if they're only working 5 to 10 hours. That's all they can commit out of their life. And it's got to be like that hog does to our breakfast. not that stupid chicken. The chicken contributes to breakfast. The hog made a real commitment. That's the kind of commitment I'm asking you to make to whoever sponsored you into this fabulous accumulation of wealth, security for your future and your family, learning about gold and silver, because that's what we are. We're teachers of God's money, real money, sound money, about gold and silver. And our company provides all the tools for us all to learn what we've never been taught in our entire lifetime. But now that's what we're doing. It's joining a force for good to help everyone financially if they have the ears to hear. And I want you to join me in this effort, in this team, and give yourself a chance to succeed by learning first. So it's 2 years of college. Millionaires 101, Bob calls it. And I know it's true, but we tell you exactly what to do. So you don't have to ask. We tell you exactly. First of all, is that commitment. Got to have that commitment. How many hours are you going to put in now? I'm asking you, is it going to be 5? Is it going to be 10? Is it going to be 50? The more hours you put in, the faster you learn, the more you earn, and the quicker you get on to the 3 to 5 years to build a huge residual income for life. Like hundreds and thousands of other people already have done with 7K, and we want you to even excel beyond what they have done in the past. And you can, because you can make more money than the people before you, even though you just joined. Now, we're going to tell you to expose the business, and that's what I tell you. If you really want to do this, everybody has to have a list, okay? And it's the first list is in your phone book. But I want you to pique people's interest. You got to learn what that means. It means you don't slobber all over them and talk them to death about gold, silver, and 7K, because you're doing it wrong if you do that. What you got to do is use quick what ifs, one-line statements, and I've got like 35 of them that I teach in my trainings. So you got to listen to the trainings to get them. No, I'm not going to send you all 35 because I do you harm. We will teach you the ones, and you get that in your basic training, all the ones you need in the very beginning, in your very beginning training that Zach does now in our business builder training with 7K. It includes even more of the basics and some of my advanced training, because the what ifs questions are there. Okay, so if you do this 5 people a day, 5 days a week, that should only take you 30 minutes. But then you have follow-up that comes. So you got to keep this on the spiral notebook list. I tell everybody, get a brand new spiral notebook. Now, if you're only doing 1 a day, 5 days a week, that's okay. If that's all you can do, then do 1 a day. But that'd be 260 people doing 5 a week. At 1 a day, 5 out of 7 days. 260 people in a year, and that means 520 different people that you pique their interest in 2 years. I'll guarantee you, you're going to be making multiple checks. Okay, but if you don't do this, you won't. So you took that spiral notebook, you put their name down, you put their phone number, and you put the date and WS for Wealth Strategy. You send them the Wealth Strategies video. Okay, now you're going to do double space, and at the end of the year, you should have at least 260 names in there. If you're doing it this way, then you've got 100 names after the first month. You got 200 after the 3rd month. Oh, you got 300 after the 4th month. Oh man, now you are building. Hey, you're going to be kind of like, building up to silver. Yeah, because you'll be doing 3 ways. You'll be doing follow-ups. Okay, here's the thing. I want you to watch one of my videos, Bob Reed's videos. 1 a day, 5 out of 7 days of the week. So that means you're going to spend 30 minutes to an hour, or sometimes a few of them a little less than 30 minutes. But you're going to learn every skill, attitudes, and techniques by watching all my different videos. And I order them. I give you them in order for the first 25 in order on the band app. Just look at the hash, search for the hashtag, see the hashtag number, and just start watching. And then you can go through all the posts and you can watch video after video. And then the latest ones are at the top, the newest ones I post. Okay. I give you all the tools. The tools are there for the next decade or so for anybody to build large, successful organizations if you're teaching it. Now, I want you to go to the opportunity meeting. You should attend a local opportunity. You should be giving them, or you're just watching a wealth strategy video with someone, your partner on your left, your partner on the right. You must meet once a week. It's kind of like Bible study. If you don't go to Bible study, you're not going to sharpen your sword in the word. You quit going to church every week, guess what? You quit losing that association. You must hang around the flagpole. That means you must start your own local meeting, even if it's you and your only person you sponsored on your left or your right. We've been doing a local meeting in Baton Rouge at George's house every single Tuesday without fail, unless we're traveling, going on a trip, or doing a Super Saturday somewhere. And that we're both going, George and I both. If I'm traveling, George is there, he still has a meeting. So you've got to start your own small group meeting with your group because you are the leader. And if not, find a leader that's somewhere in your upline that's doing this and say, hey, I want to do it with you. and just meet once a week, wherever it's at. Make it a ritual and do it for 2 years. Otherwise, you really aren't in the game. That means you will hear the corporate Zoom, or you'll hear the recording of it, or you get a gist of it so you can fast forward. Or you're going to attend a Super Saturday that's local. Some leader is going to be giving them, so you attend. Okay, that's what that means. So this 10 hours, and believe me, I know what it takes. Then you spend 15 minutes a day, 3 days out of the week, list building. So your first one I asked you to do is that first 100. Everybody's got that or more. Okay. But see, remember that spiral notebook where you're doing this up here? You're writing down the name as you send them. Well, let me tell you, after a year, if you're just doing one a day, 5 days a week, you're going to have 260 names that you got. Well, you know what you're going to do is you're going to follow back up with some of those people, and then you're going to send them something else. You're going to call them or text them, send them another video. It won't be the web strategy. It'll be Sound Money Wallet. It'll be the Sack and Sell. It'll be whatever, Y7K, something different. You write down the date and what you sent. So these are your follow-ups. Remember, in my system, over this 3 to 5 year period, in other words, total of 5 to 7 years, you're going to build an ultimate list of 500 people, and you're going to contact them at least 7 times. Well, I teach you how to be persistent without being a pest if you do it my way, but you got to learn my way. Okay. And I say this with all humility. I have done this 3 times in a row. I'm $1 million earner multiple years a row in network marketing. There aren't many of me around in this space. And I've done it using this system because it duplicates. It teaches people something easy, something that they can now teach somebody else. Anybody can use my 7 pieces of paper and teach the same thing to their serious people on their left and right. And then, so I give you a plan of how to build. I give you a plan of how to keep problems down. And if you follow my plan and you understand it by keeping bloodlines together, small groups together, and you can only place on the left and right. So you don't want to place your brother over here and your sister over here. Y'all know the same people. You grew up with the same people. You're going to be arguing forever on who talked to who first. And because see, this is a total separate business in this business over here. But if you place your brother here and then you place your sister right here in the same line. They're in the same business together. There's less tendency to argue, especially in an office, a small, tight office where y'all all working, you're starting to recruit. You don't want one person in the office over here, one person in your office over here. Whoa, now they're competing for the same people at the office. You're going to have the boss of that company saying, I don't want to ever hear the word 7K in this office again. Well, it's because they're going to be arguing and fighting over who is going to sponsor who in that office. But if they're all one under another, they're all in business together, and they kind of give up. You know, the person gets to choose who they want to be with, but they're in the office, so they're going to always sponsor them down underneath in that same office. They all go in the same line. Okay, so I give you a way to build the business that minimizes fights, arguments, misunderstandings. I'm not saying that it totally eliminates them, because we're all human, but I give you a way. And then you will have time, if you do the 2 years to learn and 3 to 5 to build a big business, you will have time for exponential expansion to really work. So you understand what leverage means, where you can have 1% of the efforts of 100 people instead of 100% of the efforts of your own. That's leverage. That's time freedom when it happens to you. But it takes time for that to happen. So this could be months. This could be weeks. Now, this is what I did in my very first network marketing company, part-time. Weeks, 4 months. I had 4,000 people more in my business, in my group. And then when I switched companies, I repeated it again, except I had over 5,000 people in the first 3 months in my business, because I taught the same system that I finally developed and was teaching in the first company. This is my third company. And I didn't start this one to make a lot of money. I started it because it just made sense. Buy gold and silver bullion at dealer cost, get these exquisite collectible products, and earn some extra income, get 1099 tax benefits. I mean, it doesn't get any better. And this industry is the greatest mini franchise industry that exists, and it's a proven fact. If you find the right company at the right time with the right product, and you know, it's irrefutable that 7K is the right company with the infrastructure that it's built in the first 5 years. No other company in history has done this. And, you know, it virtually is set itself apart from every, and now it's nothing but growth for the next 30 years as this company becomes the multi-billion-dollar global giant in the precious metals industry and in the numismatic world through its vault, its sound money wallet, and its stack and sell unique features that they have brought to this industry and is changing this industry. And the coins that they are bringing to the marketplace, they're like art. And so we've got the company, and if you keep your attitude, you got to teach attitude. You got to get people to reading this every day. Put it on their bathroom mirror, put it on their refrigerator. That's where we had it for decades. I got it right now in my office, sitting right here. I read it every day. The longer I live, the more I realize the impact of attitude on life. Attitude to me is more important than fact. It's more important than the past, than education, than money, than circumstances, than failures, than successes, than what other people think, say, or do. Is more important than appearance, giftedness, skill. It will make or break a company, a church, a home. The remarkable thing is we have a choice every day regarding the attitude we'll embrace for that day. We cannot change our past. We cannot change the fact that people will act in a certain way. We cannot change the inevitable. The only thing we can do is play on the one thing we have, and that is our attitude. I'm convinced that life is 10% of what happens to me and 90% of how I react to it. And so it is with you. We are in charge of our attitudes. So what attitude will I embrace today? How will I react when things just don't go right today? Who wants to join a sourpuss in building a business? Who wants to join someone always looking on the negative to build a business with? Think about that. Then the only 3 beliefs that you must acquire. You got to believe in this profession like I do with network marketing. Yeah, there's scams out there. Yes, there's pyramid deals out there. Yes, there's those fast startups that go out of business in 18 months. That's true in every industry. I mean, it's true in the investment world. But it's more so here because it's so easy to start a network marketing company. But guess what? Once you get past that first 3 years, which 92% of the companies that start never get to. 96% of all network marketing companies fail before their first 5 years. We're almost in our 6th year, and we've got a fully paid for global headquarters, fully staffed professionals. We've got a 6,000 square foot London certified exchange vault, private vault. We've got a 9,000 square foot vault being constructed right now. The largest single private vault in the world. And this company is totally debt free. And it's not a one owner company. It's owned by 4, everyone having a single vote, but they have a managing board where only 3 of the owners, co-founders, or own that managing board, and 2 corporate directors, managers of the company are on that, and it takes a majority vote. And they have set this up for a long-term business with succession planning, even for the co-founders and their family members. This company's here for the long haul. You got to believe in this profession. If you don't believe you can succeed in it, guess what? You cannot. So first, get the belief that you can do it. If others can do it, I can too. All you have to do is learn first. So you got to go through your learning curve first, then give yourself 3 to 5 years before you say you can't. Okay? Now, you got to believe in the business building system. I'm giving you a system. I'm giving you a system. The company, we give you a training system on how to build. We tell you exactly everything you need to do. We give you all the tools. You got to believe in it. If other people are doing it, you can too. And you got to believe in the fact that third and the most strongest belief that you got to acquire, that you can do this. That you can do this. See, then you're going to have that posture that just exudes from you every time you're talking to someone about 7K, every time you're answering questions, every time you're dealing with them. And you'll have enough patience and persistence to do as I did, 47.5 hours of Zooms with Tarita Tehutu and answering all of her questions about 7K and our comp plan and why she needed gold and silver and why the collectibles were so important. Every question you can imagine, that experienced networker knew what to ask. And she became our first goal in Hawaii. So you can do it too. Wayne Clark came with the skills, attitudes, and techniques by having worked another networking company with a binary for 4.5, almost 5 years. And I told him he has the skills, attitudes, and that. He didn't even know a thing about gold and silver. Didn't even know why he should own it. But once I showed him the comp plan, once I showed him where we are and answered his questions and made a comparison, he decided to trade in his putt-putt Volkswagen for a Lamborghini. He got in, he opened the door, and he did this system because he had already knows how to do it. He knows how to find, but he put me on more three-way calls than anybody in the first 3.5 years and my whole team did. And he did it in the first 6 months. And so, yeah, he became the first executive gold. He broke the barrier. He became the first person to win a 100-ounce silver bar. And then look at all the 100-ounce silver bars that's been won since then. It set the stage for momentum in this company. And now Hawaii followed that right back up. And then, came next Shane Vaughn and Kim Wiley, and then came Phil Godlewski and Todd Collins and Andy Osick and their entire group and all the leaders, that emanate from that group. So we have leader after leader after leader, but you must be teaching a system. If you want long-term duplicatability, if you want people to duplicate what you do, and if trained inside my training system is what you need for everybody to become that millionaire. And if they learn the comp plan, and we got every training available, every scenario, everything's there. So do the job description and always follow up. Are you doing the system? Are you committed? Remember, your job is follow up, especially with Julie. And you only need one good person on your left team and one good person on your right team that's going to make this commitment with you. And then you help them get their one on their left, we're one on their right, and you help them on your right. And then you leapfrog. And you'll know what I mean by leapfrogging, because that's what I did. I told everybody when I sponsored 2 people older than me, put them on my left team. I sponsored 4 people who had retired, went back to work in 3 different states because their pension check and Social Security checks didn't pay their bills by the end of the month. And they all told me I don't have any money. I said, pull out your credit card. Let's get in this, because what's going to be any different a year from now? And they all agreed with me. And so they joined me. Yeah, did I have people to tell me no? Absolutely, I had people that told me no. But I wasn't worried about them, only worried about the people who told me yes. I hooked up with them, and then I helped them make a check on my left, make them a $500 check. That means they had 500 points on the left, 500 points on the right. Help the person on my right make a $500 check with the people they knew, not the people I knew, people they knew. They're top 25 doing my job description. And then I get to meet those new people that's in while they're learning. I'm reaching down, I'm leapfrogging over them, working with the 2 most active people on the left, 2 most active people on the right, helping them make their check. It's going to go up to the next person. Then I leapfrog over them and work with them. Then I leapfrog over them, work with them, leapfrog over them, work with them. That's how I work with Kim Wiley. See, I didn't sponsor Kim Wiley. Shane Vaughn did. Pastor Vaughn. In fact, he just introduced her to me. She just enrolled on his link and we placed him for her. We placed her for him. So see, learning these things is what you need to learn what to do. And you need to learn to be that leader. So I'm teaching you to be me. Every one of you, because that's what you need to be to your team. And I'm here to help you do that. I did talk a little bit. No, I didn't even mention income in here, but every time I talk about income, I always got to end with our income disclosure statement, because The company always wants us to put this up anytime we talk about that. I did talk about it, but I'm going to tell you, I became a goal by just helping people. I was more interested in helping people, helping Wayne become an executive goal. I flush points every week that I could, but making a full goal salary for more than a year and a half, that's been a blessing and a half, especially at 75. But my main concern is to teach the fact that I know that needs to be done in this whole organization. If y'all want to do what I've done multiple times in multiple companies, using my system, you got to teach it and you got to get that commitment. I hope you see what I see. I hope you understand what I'm trying to use this. And, I hope 20 years from now, you are playing this for the person you just sponsored, and that you will become the next presidential goal in this company, or platinum, or whatever new advance, because the comp plan has room to expand, and it will expand. So many of you in the future will make much more money than those of us here today. And congratulations to you, because you will develop a true legacy income while you're accumulating wealth, getting 1099 tax benefits, and developing extra stream income, building a residual legacy income for life. May you all have a blessed day and a powerful future in 7.